Yo, and what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of DGT Live. We're coming at you from the Central Coast of California. I'm Leo, along with Rick and
Francisco.
This is your friendly show about gaming, movies, and pop culture. Pulp culture.
Not from pulp concentrate.
Pop culture. Yes. So, I'd like to welcome everybody. We have been in a little bit of a hiatus lately. Last week we took it off.
Mouth.
I think the week before we had off, something like that.
Yeah.
And we're back. We're back and better than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us once again on another edition of DGT Live. Lots of stuff has happened. We had the DICE Awards happen this week.
Yep.
Academy Awards are happening next week. And as you know, if you have a time machine like I do, they already happened.
Well, I mean, to that respect, many things happened.
The Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl championship.
Philadelphia Eagles, huh?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank everybody who's watching us live through the magic of Facebook right now. Also, you can catch our videos
Power of the
post-recording or post-live.
Post-live.
On YouTube.
Black. Yeah,
Black what?
We just got a comment that says black.
Black what? Black what? AJ
Oh,
Bishop.
Black Panther happened. It did.
Black Panther happened. Disney did go ahead and donate some money to some
Boys and Girls
charity.
or Boys and Girls Club. No, was it
STEM.
Was it that or the Scouts? I think it was the Scouts.
STEM. I don't know what STEM stands for. I just read a little blurb that they donated to STEM. So
NAMBLA.
whatever that means. Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Good for them.
Charitable donation.
Good for them.
Tax deduction.
Yeah, but this show can't be too happy today because one of the uber nerds that we grew up with, one of the fellow nerds, geek, pop culture icon, went ahead and he
he didn't went ahead and did.
He unfortunately
Unfortunately,
suffered. Kevin Smith suffered from
Massive
heart attack, was as reported by most of the major media outlets.
Actually, it was himself
that reported it.
He made a post and talked about it. Basically, he was doing a show down in Glendale, and it was gonna be a double show for one night last night, I believe. So he did the first one, and then he was about to do the second one. And he started feeling really tired, like out of breath and like, oh man, what do I do, And all of a sudden, bam, massive heart attack. When he was rushed to the hospital, he was told that it was actually called a widowmaker because these are the type of heart attacks that you cannot have any symptoms. Basically, you just feel tired. And he explains that they actually had to cut into his groin to be able to alleviate the pressure.
Wow.
And that's how they saved him, basically. If they hadn't done that, he would have been it.
That's kind of an awkward thing that has to have been done, but I'm glad he's in recovery, right?
Yeah.
So far all goes well.
And it's funny because there were a lot of reactions. One of the most notable ones, we were talking about it earlier, is that Chris Pratt, Star-Lord himself, actually sent him out a tweet and basically saying how, he admired him because ever since he made Clerks, he started following him. Mm-hmm. And he says something along the words of, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I'm praying for you, pull back, pull through, blah, blah, blah. And so the internet got mad because he used the word prayers. Basically, they're arguing from what I didn't read the whole thing, but basically they're arguing that he's doing the same thing that a lot of people do with like all these shootings at schools and whatever that are happening. Mm-hmm. There's like, thoughts and prayers, but nothing ever does anything. So somebody kind of like made that point and saying
you're just saying hope you get well,
right? And it's like the only ones that can do something about it are the doctors and nurses taking care of them, not prayers.
Which is interesting because ever since they took prayer out of schools, things like that have actually multiplied. So it's kind of counter to what they're arguing.
It's kind of it's one of those hot topics because as we know, politics.
Anytime you involve religion and politics, people are going to get...
it's always going to be an iffy subject.
Yeah.
And I get what you mean. but you always have to think, and I'm not saying that I'm for nor against what you just said, but you have to think there's many religions in any particular school. So to say something like, you know, a prayer or whatnot, it doesn't always align with everybody's views.
I think realistically, we're kind of changing it to the topic of prayer in schools. Realistically, it's not going to happen in this country because this country is so diverse through people's backgrounds and culture that they bring with them as immigrants. The only ones who are not immigrants are Native Americans. Everybody else is. And so I think realistically, prayer will be something that,
going back,
schools can't do. However, I mean, if you're gonna say stuff like, make a comment like that, you better be ready for those retorts. You know?
But that's the thing.
They're just trying to push an agenda. They're their
own ideals and
trying to twist this into getting their word out as opposed to other people's.
There's just too many groups and too many minorities that are feeling secluded when like in this case, be it him, be it a family member or anybody else, when you tell someone my prayers are with you, you're basically saying, I hope you get better soon.
Yeah, I'm thinking of you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping you pull through.
It has nothing to do with any particular
but
belief.
The internet always has something to complain about.
It's not that person trying to impose their beliefs on that person. It's just pretty much
it's how they were raised.
If they're empathizing or sympathizing, I forget which one it is. They're expressing their concern.
It's that person. If that person is a person of faith or a believer in any form, prayer is the highest form of saying you're in our thoughts to the other person.
I would. I mean, and then forgive me, guys, internet. If someone were to say, you know, may the force be with you.
Yeah, it's the
would
same
it have
thing.
gotten the same reaction? You know, being that he's a nerd and, you know, he's into all that, the whole
good point, Rick.
internet
I like that.
meme side, it's a type of faith, but it's not
condemned
exactly.
because it's mainstream.
It's just that group or minority that felt offended at that particular moment, that felt that he needed to say something, and it got the ball rolling, it got some steam behind it, and somebody else joined in, and now there's this little party saying, yeah, Chris Pratt is ignorant or blah, blah, blah.
Right. But to everybody that's watching us right now that don't know who this guy is, basically, he's one of the most famous...
He's shaving now? What the heck?
As he's shaving behind us, he's one of the most famous indie filmmakers of our generation.
Director,
basically.
actor, screenwriter.
And producer. He actually made his first movie, Clerks, black and white, and he paid for all of it out of pocket. He didn't have the money. He actually had to get some credit cards going, and he got himself in debt to make this film happen. And once it did, it was a breakthrough because nobody had actually gone down to dialogue as much as he is. That's his trademark, dialogue. And so he became famous because of that. Then Universal picked him up and did Mallrats. Wasn't as successful, but then he did Chasing Amy.
He's like the nerd version of Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, exactly. And then he did Dogma, which was very controversial at the time. And
interesting movie.
Yeah, and then he finished with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which wasn't as great. But the point is that he's the example of all of us that wanted to do something, be it with movies, be it with video games, what have you.
I mean,
that you dreamt about it.
He's heavily involved in different, what would you say? Different categories of like
pop culture,
nerddom.
Yeah. Like he does podcasts,
comics,
exactly, stand up,
movies, and all this other stuff. So he's very not so much influential in comparison to other people, but he's very well known.
He's one of the pioneers. So let's say that.
I think he's more influential,
really,
than people give him credit for. Because
that's what I mean.
But he's more influential behind the scenes as opposed to in front of the camera.
Yeah, I gotcha. Agreed.
So I think that's the reason why people don't see him as like
really quick anecdote now that I remember, because you're mentioning that, is that Thor, Chris Hemsworth himself, he said that he listened to a podcast that he mentioned about the first Thor and the second Thor, that he said that they were boring, and he's like, I took his advice and we went for something funnier.
Look
and
at that.
that's what Ragnarok happened.
Look at that.
And when Kevin Smith heard about that, he was like, "Oh my God, he knows my name." You know, like he actually knows about me. So he was fanboying. And now I was just thinking about that. Now that like actually Chris Pratt is gonna say or send that to him, I can only imagine how he feels because it's like, holy crap,
Like
you know?
bigger, higher up people
Because
are noticing me.
he always talks about them. Like he loves Marvel, and he's always talking about how great they are and all of that. He's a big Marvel fan, and with like all the movies, he always talks about them. It's like, yeah, I once met Captain America with Jay Leno. I was doing his show,
Didn't he?
and
go
he
to
looked at me, and I was like, "Hey, Captain!" I was all fanboying.
What was the last biggest con that just happened? Was it San Diego Comic Con?
No, Stan Lee. I got to see them. Leo went to get equipment, so he didn't get a chance.
He
to
was
see
there,
him.
right?
But yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
he
got
was
to
there
see
and
him
he was-
live.
I got to see him too.
Oh, you did?
He was there. Yeah, when I
That's
got back.
pretty
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, so you made it in time.
I
then.
got back from
Okay.
getting the equipment and got. To see
I
him
think
there.
he was giving out Funko Pops
Yeah, with
of him.
Yeah,
with
he
his
was
own-
signing them.
That's pretty cool. That's
So-
pretty funny.
So that's what Kevin Smith is.
Hope his recovery goes speedier.
Speedy.
Yeah, our prayers are with you.
There you go. Chris
I
Pratt.
really mean that. I really
Yeah,
mean that.
yeah, he
I
does.
Mean that. I know I'm kind of poking fun a little bit, but I really mean that.
Moving on.
I really hope he gets well. Black Panther.
Black Panther.
I saw that this weekend, guys.
I think.
I saw it.
There you go, AJ.
There's a I don't know if it's a town or a city or a county
Wakanda. I'm not
called Wakanda.
Yeah.
Wakanda.
Oh, Illinois. Yeah,
in
that's
Illinois, and they're going nuts about this film. Like the people in the fire department,
Wearing-
people,
the Panther mask.
they're wearing Panther masks. The police officers are wearing Panther masks. The people at City Hall, their cities, the mayor and all that's office, they're wearing the Panther masks.
So what did you think about the movie, Pancho?
I will tell you, it's a good movie. It's a great film. It's very well done, but it was definitely overhyped.
Too much hype.
Oh yeah. I mean, it does do things that have not done before. It does deal with a lot of controversial topics, like weapons dealings and racial slurs, all of this stuff. But as far as an actual storytelling, movie, filmmaking point of view perspective, it's not any bigger or greater than Ragnarok, for example. Not bigger than I don't know what was the other great Marvel one, Civil War. Let's just say that. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I was very entertained. I was with it from beginning to end, and it's very, very rare that happens, because once you go into a movie, kind of start slow, kind of like, oh, we gotta get our footing going. Blah, blah. This movie from the beginning, it captures you. And what I like about Marvel is that they don't get into the origin stories as much as like DC does. They don't give you a whole 20 minutes, 30 minutes of backstory. This one does it in a way that is kind of quick, fast-paced, and it still gets the point across. Okay. And it's really well made. Right. I love it, especially like all the different African tribes that they manage. It's pretty good. I would recommend you go see it.
Cool.
It's awesome.
Anything based in reality?
Just like the themes, like the themes, the weapon dealings and like the whole nations taking advantage of other nations. It's
okay.
It's controversial. Let's just say that.
Yeah. It's like The Rock in The Nation of Domination.
Yeah,
sure.
Anyways, who put this Justice
Switching
League?
over to DC side.
Oh, Joss Whedon. What is this, Leo? What do you get so upset about it, buddy?
So
looks like Joss.
A quick comment that AJ saw the movie 3 times. That's kind of a lot. Being that it just came out this Friday, right?
Last Friday.
Oh, last Friday. Never mind. Okay,
that's funny because this movie came out, and what do I go watch? Oh, Jumanji.
Yeah. Is it still in theaters?
I thought you saw that a long time ago.
No, I haven't. I had not seen it.
I'm waiting for it.
I saw The Rock.
I thought we were talking about it one day, and you were like, "Oh, did you know about this and that?" I thought you saw.
Oh no,
Leo making stuff up again.
Leo's making stuff.
But it is a sequel, direct sequel to the old.
Oh, that's
it's
what
just
we're
like
talking about.
so far, like almost nothing connects. There's just one little thing in it that kind of lets you know, like, okay,
I know what you're talking about.
You bought it. You bought it. You're like,
it works.
Yeah?
Yes, it works. It works.
And Leo is hard to please. So if he's saying yes, and
well, I have to tell you though, my expectations for this movie were not too great.
Okay.
And it surpassed everything.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah, it was a good
gonna be.
movie.
So it was good.
It was good.
I'm glad.
It
I'm
was-
glad to
it was
say.
fun.
But yeah, back to Joss Whedon here in the
Joss Whedon.
DC. He was set to direct
Batgirl.
Batgirl, and I guess things fell through, and he pulled out. At least that was the initial, the way the news initially broke.
What
now
was
we're
it?
hearing that DC actually fired him from doing that. So
Hearsay, she say.
what gives?
So what was it that caused him to exit?
No story. He said he didn't have a story,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of.
He
I don't
was
know.
hired to be the writer.
I think it's actually cop out excuse because he was hired to come and fix Justice League and to kind of make a segue for him to work on Batgirl based on what he did here. So for him to say that he had no story after having dealt with this,
Yeah, because he was the
Yeah.
story man. He was gonna make.
I truly believe that possibly what happened was during the time when he was hired on to fix, Justice League, word had gotten out that was going to be the final DC,
like no more
film of
share
this universe.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing that he probably wanted to start fresh from scratch,
Mhm.
like begin this whole thing over again and have it done right. And I'm assuming, especially because of the other stuff I've heard about new Joker movie,
Well, yeah, I was gonna mention that
new Batman
we
movie.
talked about that in our last show
because the
about
new
the
Batman
Joker.
movie, even though Affleck's out, I mean, no, Affleck's still in it, right?
No,
He's just
he's
a
out.
different director.
It's kind of like in
It's-
the air, but
and so,
what-
but that still hasn't been officially
no,
canned.
but that's the thing. That's what I was
Batgirl's
gonna
in
tell you. That
the
Joker, that they're working on the origin story. They're looking at Joaquin Phoenix to do that. Jared Leto is still gonna be the Joker. So what the hell, DC? Like they were talking about that. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking at Joaquin Phoenix to play the Joker on an origin story. Oh, but don't worry, Jared Leto, that universe, he's still the Joker.
See, that's
like-
the stuff that DC's kind of just like
So they're
fumbling
just-
the ball, shooting
They're
themselves
just kind
in
of
the
like
foot and all that.
fracturing their story too much. They're going in all these different directions and
I
just
think-
trying to hit a gold
Yeah,
line.
I think the direction that they're going has no real vision, and I think the writing's on the wall, and Joss Whedon sees it.
He's like,
They're
"I'm
hitting-
out, yo.
And he hit that eject button.
They're
as soon
hitting
as he
like
could.
a cul-de-sac in every turn, and they're like, nope, gotta
Nope,
turn around. I
nope.
gotta figure this out.
Except they keep just going in circles.
MapQuest.
Seriously,
Yeah.
something. Ah, man. Well,
So,
well,
It's a shame
sad.
because DC does have the firepower as far as characters
mean,
go to compete with Marvel.
Just
and
base it off of Wonder Woman. Just you have the gem
See,
right
after
there.
after seeing Justice League, it was a decent movie. Knowing what was going on in the background kind of killed it for me because it's one of those like it
Oh, it
didn't,
doesn't matter.
It didn't allow
Yeah.
me to want to enjoy it any further
Yeah.
than what I did. If they had reversed it, like Marvel did and did all their origin stuff 1st and build up to the compilation of all these guys, DC could have had something great. Whether it be Josh Whedon or whoever, as long as they just took that time. But because they rushed it,
even with that, I'd still give him the benefit of the doubt, and because it's so hard to get it right. How many generations did DC and even Marvel attempt to make superhero movies, and they just didn't get it right?
Well,
Tim
but-
Burton was the one that got it right.
but there was, but you have to think of it though. That timeline that they came up with, when was this? Like back in 2004, 6, somewhere, where they finally gave us that timeline. Prior to that, all these Marvel movies were just
Yeah, like the Hulk.
individual-
The Hulk is a great example. Like they didn't know what they were doing either.
They-
Kind of like you were saying, they were just fishing to see what worked. But they had Iron Man, and that was their foundation.
I'll
So-
be honest with you. I would love for DC to just scrap everything, except maybe Wonder Woman. Figure
Yeah,
out a
that's
way
what
to
I'm
keep
saying.
her somehow, and go back to the Nolan stories and work off of that. Hire Christian Bale back, pay the man, and
But
Somebody was talking about why DC doesn't work, and they're saying that their characters are not cinematic. They were saying that it's all about the hero and not the people behind the masks. And it kind of makes sense because when you have Marvel, you have Tony Stark, which is Iron Man. You have Captain America, which is whatever. His
you
name
know
is.
what's ironic? I don't read too many comics, but what's ironic is I always thought Marvel had that problem from the comics, just before the movies.
But them are about the people.
Before any of the movies, I always used to see DC characters as these like very deep characters.
Well,
Deep, dark, afflicted.
Well, they're saying
whereas
that DC,
Marvel was just
Batman
more
is
cartoon,
the only one.
You know,
Batman is the only one that can act like that because he actually has
but it's not
a
just
Bruce
that.
Wayne
Like,
persona.
his character works because of the villains. I think. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much about Batman. It's because of the villains around him.
Well, because they're more human-ish
Yeah.
as far as villains go.
Every other DC property, they're all gods practically.
Yeah.
There's some kind of superpowered, altered being, alien, god, or whatever.
Well, they're still working on Shazam, so we shall see how that works. And Batgirl, I guess they're
Do you
just
smell
shelving
what
it for now.
Shazam is cooking?
so.
Oh man. So I mean, I look forward to seeing what's gonna happen. But
I would like
if it was me, like calling the shots, I'd say let's
Start
from scratch,
I
or
would-
let's
I
try to
would like
recycle
that.
the Nolan timeline. You know,
I would like that, but I think they've advanced too far to want to come back and start all over
It's
again.
like we've already spent so much money, so much effort, so much time. I mean, they had to lock those actors though. They had to
Right.
like give them like 5-10 year contracts, not just like 3 years like they were doing.
right.
That's what
Although it wouldn't surprise me, DC's been fumbling a lot.
Yeah.
I know we spent way too much time on this already, but I just want to say a quick tidbit that I found. I just found out about this week. I discovered that originally the Joker was supposed to be in the third of the Batman trilogy as well. Did you guys know about this? Yeah, Heath Ledger was informed that they wanted him to come back and reprise his role as a Joker
But he died.
for the third one. But, you know, he
R.I.P.
passed away in real life.
No, I think I actually
and,
had heard about
so
that.
the movie was supposed to also be about Joker, or he just had like
because
a
he
little
did
part?
not die at the end.
Yeah,
of
he
the
caught
first
him,
one.
but
The third one was supposed to be about like his escape from the asylum.
and then after his death, they just switched it up to Bane. Then, or
Yeah, they scrambled to figure out what they were gonna do with that. But
there's
can you
not gonna be a
imagine?
Joker like him though. Like
No,
that
there will be.
definitely was a very impressive Joker.
Yeah,
I mean,
Academy Award winning.
What we're talking about is
Joker.
that seemed realistic. That seemed like a psychopath, a narcissist, whatever
like
you want to
something
call him.
like that could happen to someone.
Yeah, it wasn't just like some random dude with paint on his face that was just acting crazy. Like this guy,
like Jared
legit.
Leto.
I like
playing with baby dolls.
Sorry,
I
Jared
forget.
Leto.
We'll
I know
move
you're
on,
an
move
Academy
on.
Award winning actor, but
spending too much time on
golly,
on DC.
It's his fault.
whoever was giving you direction on that one.
So tomorrow, guys, the Los Angeles City is going to declare Coco Day in
Coco
Los
Day.
Angeles.
Woo!
The Blu-ray DVD gets released tomorrow, and let me just tell you, if you haven't seen this movie, shame on you. Shame.
Check it out.
You need to watch it.
You know, I don't. It's not.
You
my
don't shame
thing-
people?
It's not my thing to buy Blu-ray movies.
Oh, dude, this is like
I'd
a pre-order
I'd
for
rather
me.
just do like
I'm
digital
waiting for it.
download, you know, stuff like that. But especially with 4K.
Well, there's
being
4K Blu-rays now.
And but this is gonna be a day one purchase.
Oh yeah,
for me.
dude.
Yeah.
And don't be turned off by the fact that if you're not Mexican, you're not gonna relate to this. Dude, you're going to relate to this. You are going to love this, and you're gonna understand
I think
a lot more.
it's just the
about
heavy Hispanic culture, how it influenced the movie. That's it. But you don't have to know
the traditions or anything like that. Yeah, no.
right, yeah.
It explains it very well.
I was listening to a radio personality describe it this way. It's a celebration of culture in an era where we try to deculturize everything because we're so afraid of offending each other or disrespecting each other, where this doubles down and grabs on to that given culture that is so ingrained there in Mexico. And it's not supposed to be for everybody to agree with it or to identify with the culture, but to identify with them as people and identify with the love that they have for each other, how we can have the same love for each other as well. And that's where the magic is, because it's such a complicated subject and topic that they're trying to push through.
And it does.
And Pixar pulled it off.
And it freaking
Kudos
does.
to Pixar.
And let me talk about something that I just remembered too, because I just found out this little tidbit today. I mean, I already kind of knew, but there's another movie in Mexico made by Mexicans, animation, also 3D animation, I believe, about the same Day of the Dead theme. And they are saying, a lot of people, there's like an online petition even online talking about how Pixar just kind of went and blackmailed them, like officials down there, to not showcase that movie because this movie was going to be showcased. Essentially stealing their thunder. But that movie, or this movie, Coco, actually, as I found out today, was started in 2010, dude. 2010.
Yeah, Pixar goes way back.
Yeah,
They
I remember
start-
when it was first announced, I thought there was just going to be a short.
Yeah,
And then
so,
like the following year, they said no, it was going to be a full-length feature, and I was like super excited about that.
Yeah,
then
because
it went into complete darkness after that, and then when the Book of Life was about to release, I thought
that was it.
That was it, and that maybe there was a misunderstanding, and it wasn't Pixar doing it. It was, you know, I forget who made Book of Life. But
I gotta
I think it was
admit,
DreamWorks.
I gotta admit, the title Coco kind of throws it off too. Like it just doesn't seem. I mean, once you see the movie, obviously it makes sense.
You get it, yeah.
But just reading the name Coco, you're kind of like, what the
well,
heck is
I think
Coco?
it's very Pixar of them.
Yeah?
I think they have enough gusto with the audiences that they can just name their movies whatever they want to.
Yeah, I
And
guess. I mean,
people can rest assured.
it's fine. I'm not
be
saying
comfortable.
it did any damage.
Like
It's just
Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. Like it really doesn't tell you that it's a movie about a fish trying to.
no, but I mean, it has the name, the title. You can tell that that's a name or
Then we
you know,
have-
something to
then
do
we have
with the
Up.
movie.
Then we have Up. It's just single Ratatouille. Nobody knew what Ratatouille was before
The
that.
Good Dinosaur.
We have Wall-E. Good Dinosaur. That's
Arlo.
probably a little bit more descriptive. We have Brave. I mean, Pixar has a history of.
They should make a
Like
part
doing
2 and
this.
call it Finding Coco.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
point is though, like, is that those people in Mexico don't be fooled. I mean, they had their chance, and if they didn't do it in time, and Coco stole your thunder,
They got it. They got beat. I mean,
But let's
And-
talk about the theme, the source material, Day of the Dead. You
That's-
cannot steal that idea.
but that's what. But okay,
It's
now
part
you
of culture.
you have to think about
Exactly.
it. This is a U.S. based company.
Oh,
doing
that's
a
what they're saying. Yeah,
Hispanic-
that's what they're saying. That they
where
came in.
this
yeah.
is Hispanic based company doing a Hispanic
But
theme.
but you know what's even good thing that you brought that up, that I found more amazing, is that, you know, when it gets dubbed, you know, most of the actors that do their English part also did their Spanish part because they speak Spanish as well. But when it went to Spain, they kept the Latin accent. Because, you know, in Spain, they actually dub it
They have their
using
own
their
dubbers.
accent. No, they kept the Mexican
Ah,
accent.
That's pretty cool.
And a lot of people in Spain are pissed.
Really?
Oh yeah, because they say that they don't like.
They're like,
that.
they don't understand this?
It's kind of like when we watch a Spanish movie with the Spaniard accent. You know, it's kind of weird at 1st and you know.
You know what
That's
though?
how they
I
feel.
think it's more authentic. More.
Yeah, it
immersive.
is. That's what
Yeah.
they're saying.
For
Disney
anything
wanted
else,
to
I
be
would
authentic.
say. Yeah, for anything else, I would say like just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Do what pleases your audience.
Mhm.
But in Spain, I think. I mean, I hate to say it, but there is some
No manches
prejudices
España.
towards what they consider a lesser country, and they let's not kid ourselves. They do consider
It's not all of them. Let's just say it's not all of
a
them.
lot. Not all of the Spaniards, but generally speaking, I would say a lot of them do see the people from the Americas as
Yeah.
lesser versions of themselves. Like I hate
Yeah,
to use this word,
we get it, Leo.
but bastardized versions of
Don't
themselves.
don't dig
Because of the
Don't
history.
dig. We get it.
Yeah, Spaniards, you raped a lot of people.
Moving on.
Come at me, bro.
Oh man, I'm trying to save you, Leo.
Still,
I know,
still
I know.
on the
nobody
Disney
watches
side.
us though.
Have you guys seen this trailer?
Rupture in Time or
A Wrinkle in Time.
I've seen it many times.
I
It's-
don't find it interesting.
No.
No, I don't even know why they made our list here.
I like. You put
Seriously,
it.
Rick put it up.
No.
Yeah, he did.
I like the CG. It looks
the Oprah.
Oprah's on there. That's right. She's on there.
Kelly's in it, Leo. You into the office right now?
Yeah. I,
All I
Kelly
wanted.
Kapoor.
All I wanted to say. I don't recognize many of the actors on here, but all I wanted to say is that it just seems nice that they're not just sticking to their traditional, other than Marvel, live action films. Other than animation. This looks cool. It just looks like
It looks beautiful.
it reminds me of, what was that other movie?
Wizard of Oz.
Zathura?
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Zathura. Have you guys ever seen that? It's not.
Yes.
I don't believe
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Disney.
I've seen
It's
it.
Jumanji, but in space. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of something like that, like very mystical, very futuristic.
Oh, I think what you really want to say is Never Ending Story.
Yeah.
There you go. That too. It just seems nice. I thought.
Or Hitchhiker's Guide to the
We're
Galaxy.
just throwing our
Oh, I
audience
hated
up.
that movie.
You hated that movie
That
too.
movie was awesome, dude.
Everybody
Don't forget
loves
a
that
towel.
Don't forget.
It's like this
I
is
like-
so dumb. It's like
I enjoyed that movie.
uh,
Anyways,
to each their own.
I don't know if this will have that kind of weird,
You
humor
can
to
definitely tell it
but-
will be weird.
but,
humor.
but
yeah, I
it
don't
will
know.
Well, it looks like it's visually very well done. But
It's very,
it just doesn't seem like it's a movie made for me.
It's very Salvador Dali.
It's made for
esque.
younger audiences for sure. I think
I don't know.
it's kind of like that movie, The Space Between Us. Have you seen it?
Nope.
No, that movie's pretty cool. Actually,
Yeah.
I kind of
Mm.
enjoyed that. So I might like this. But
This is going to be a
I'm not too excited about
Netflix,
it, just
not
because-
even a Blu-ray wait. This is a Netflix.
wait a couple months, huh?
Uh,
I
years.
don't know. Sometimes I really enjoy movies like this, but it's not one of those that I'm gonna go out of my way to go see.
So Oprah goes nuts and starts giving out gifts to all those kids or what?
You get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
You get a Wrinkle
You
in
get
time.
a time machine. You get a time machine. You get a time machine.
March 23rd.
Is that where you got it from, Leo?
What?
Did Oprah give you a time
Oh
machine?
no. Francisco did. He didn't realize it.
Oh, so in the
The
future,
flux capacity.
we're piecing things together here.
So Dora the Explorer, guys. Apparently,
Okay, wait.
The floor is yours, Francisco.
Wait, before you say anything, I just want to say this clip has
It's,
nothing to do with what Pancho's
no.
talking about. This is a college humor clip
from a few years
from.
ago.
Oh yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
So basically, they're making a live action Dora the Explorer
Directed
movie.
by Michael Bay.
Really?
I believe. So. I think. Isn't that what we read last time?
I think that's what you wanted it to be, but I don't know if it's an actual thing.
I think he's one of the producers.
Wants and needs are kind of
I don't think he's the
influencing here. I could have sworn it was directed by Michael
you might
Bay.
be right. You might be right. I'm just,
Michael Bay, where's the island 2? I want to see it.
I'm just very
one of my favorite
surprised that
movies.
That was a
somebody
good movie.
I love
somebody
that movie.
thought about making this a live action flick. That's what I'm surprised about. And now we have a date, which is August 2nd of 2019. Next year,
Wait.
next summer.
I thought you said it was this year.
No, next summer.
Oh, next year. Okay.
Today we got the date. That's when they announced it's going to be released August
Gotcha.
2nd next year. So I don't know, guys.
So live action and then
Dora the Explorer.
boots.
Yeah, I'm into it. My kids, all three of them, they loved
I
Dora
mean-
the Explorer growing up. So I know plenty of Dora. I know the backstory.
Swiper, no
I
swiping.
know the
But,
special characters
is
and
it-
visitors and all that.
See,
So
I need
I'm
more.
actually looking forward to this. More
I need
than
more
Wrinkle in
content
Time.
here. Is this gonna be like
And
like,
they haven't said anything about it.
like
Like this?
explosions?
It's gonna
Is it
be
gonna
like
be
like Uncharted for kids.
I guess.
The Nathan Drake story.
so instead of shooting guns, they're like shooting like paper clips, slingshots, and like
Yeah, stuff like that.
I just gotta say, I don't know. It could be really good, and it could be just a kids flick. I
And
mean,
speaking of animated characters getting a live action film,
Who Framed Roger Rabbit
Sonic
Part
the
2.
Hedgehog.
sound like that.
It's
Roger Rabbit
It
too?
was officially
I
announced.
wanted it
Oh,
to be. Man.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. So is that coming out this year or next year also? Next year, right? 2019.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I do believe they said.
I think the Mario
2020.
movie is coming before Sonic.
20 what?
No, I really doubt it.
You think?
I really doubt it because to me it seems like they're trying to fast track the Sonic movie.
Mm.
It's gonna be a live action movie.
Really?
So I'm thinking something like the
Have
Woody
you guys-
Woodpecker movie or the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
My kids love that Woodpecker movie, and
It's
thought
It's
not
on
that
Netflix,
bad.
huh?
I didn't finish
Yeah.
watching it,
I
but
was-
it's not as bad as it seemed, like in the trailer.
Have you guys heard about Detective Pikachu? I had to think about it for a second.
Oh yeah.
Isn't,
It's
isn't
going
that
to
like
be
a
a movie.
little short or a little.
It's a
No,
game
it's-
now.
Okay.
But they're making a movie called Detective Pikachu, live action, and Pikachu is a detective. I don't understand this.
Isn't there a big name actor like associated with it, like Mark Wahlberg or somebody like that?
It's a big
Wahlburger.
studio, but they're like, oh, we're making a Pokemon movie live action, yeah, and
You-
then they're
you
like,
gotta-
it's gonna be Detective Pikachu.
You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta remember the Japanese
Japan?
culture has this
Quirks,
formula
nonsense.
that they just throw random variables in there and they get this output.
I don't know.
And
man.
it somehow works. And their people love it. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying they're doing bad. It's just they love this stuff.
Yeah.
I guess.
So a talking Pikachu is probably like blowing their minds right now.
I mean,
And-
plus, think about it. They're really marketing it to children. They're not
Yeah,
marketing to full-grown man children.
Oh, I'm
like
still
we
gonna
are.
watch it. I'm still,
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
No, but I think the Sonic movie, they should take great care of that license because Sonic, at least in the world of gaming, can be just as big as Mario.
Yeah.
If they decide to treat him with respect.
I mean, to be honest, they were basically neck and neck in time as far as
Yeah.
Longevity. They've both existed around the
92,
exact.
93.
And then
Yeah.
they started making some really bad games after the Dreamcast era.
It was a
And-
Sonic 3D that was his downfall.
Yeah, and so once that started to happen, it kind of like it didn't translate too well, and it went downhill. But he has that ability. We've seen it happen before,
He's fast.
where he has the it factor that not too many characters have.
One
I'm thinking Mickey Mouse, I'm thinking Super Mario, and I'm thinking Sonic.
the one thing
He's like in that same level.
the
I
one
think.
thing that bothers me about the whole Sonic thing is in the actual Sonic cartoons, games, whatever. Back in the day when we knew Sonic, the bad guy was called
Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik.
Eggman.
Now they call him Eggman. I hate that.
Oh, it's one of those Japanese to American
Yeah, but it's-
translations where it got like kind of mixed up.
It's kind of like King Koopa and Bowser. Like, what the heck? What happened there?
I
Yeah.
actually heard an explanation about this and I forgot.
Yeah, there's an explanation. I just don't remember.
I hate it. It
but,
bothers
But
the
I'm
crap out
excited
of
though.
me.
I'm excited. They're making a movie. We're gonna get a Sonic movie, and we're gonna get a Super
King
Mario
Koopa,
movie.
that was a translation mistake. It was actually meant to be known as King of the Koopas.
Mhm.
And his name was always Bowser.
Mm.
Bowser, King of the Koopas.
Koopa Troopa.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
All right, we got another thing. Rick, you put this one up here.
this is
Now
a commercial.
that's an ad. I did not put that there. No affiliation.
No
Start talking
affiliation.
about it.
Battery time.
Shenmue.
You can't. Oh yeah, you can't skip that one. It has to wait.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
few
about.
Metal Gear.
seconds and
Oh, it's Metal Gear. Never mind, guys. Sorry.
So Metal Gear Survive came out officially last week, I think.
Yeah.
Have you played it yet?
I have not played it. I've seen a couple. Excuse me, a couple
Your excuse.
gameplay clips here
Mhm.
and there,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are.
Is it a
hating
campaign or is it a multiplayer?
It's the Survive. What's that? What's the genre called? Survive? Survival?
Like PUBG?
No. What,
Like
what
Resident
is it
Evil?
called, Leo? You know what it's called, no?
It's
Doom?
It's survival horror kind of, but with the tactical espionage aspect to it.
So a lot of people hate it, and some people like it, but it's more
Is
towards the
Snake in it?
negative. No, Snake is not
Well,
in it.
then we don't care.
This is like I think we talked about it. Like if they took out the Metal Gear franchise out of it and made it its own separate thing,
it will be good.
it would have been. I think so.
I think people would be more forgiving,
Yeah.
Mm.
but because it has the Metal Gear name, there's a high expectation that
Yeah.
comes along
Mm.
with that. And in addition to that, I think that a lot of people have some poison against Konami right now because of
They're
the way
jerks.
the way they did wrong to Hideo Kojima.
hmm
So I mean, a lot of people know already.
So they're just
Kojima
hating on it
was-
just because.
Was the creator of Metal Gear,
Mhm.
the whole franchise, and money bag for
Konami.
Oh
Konami.
man, I don't know how many times I bought those games.
Seriously,
Like, even having the same one for different consoles.
yeah, and me too. And I haven't even played any of them yet.
The backlog is strong with you.
Actually, I played a few of them, but just like halfway through,
Mm.
and then like, oh, something else. Squirrel,
Square.
you know.
PUBG.
But
1, 2,
but-
and 3 are the only ones that I've ever. Oh no, and 4. I did play part 4.
I haven't played 5 yet,
I have not played 5.
and I've been meaning to. I have it. I just, I played the prologue, which is pretty good.
But no, we just figured throw that in there, talk about the controversy that is Metal Gear and Konami.
Mm. I don't think Metal Gear is ever gonna be Metal Gear again.
I had higher expectations.
Kojima was Metal Gear
because it sounded like a cool genre.
Yeah.
The horror survive mode or campaign or what they call it, but
Yeah.
they just got to take Metal Gear out of it.
So it is more like a PUBG style game then.
No, it's like
It's an actual game,
like a zombie. Yeah,
but there's a storyline to it.
is there a campaign mode to it?
I believe there is, but it's just very, very low profile. Like, there's not much.
I don't think
to
the
it.
campaign is the main point.
Yeah.
It's a multiplayer.
It's just like you try to survive, and it's just in many levels it just doesn't work.
Floating zombies.
So
we can
yeah,
skip
it's
ahead.
getting a
This
lot of
is-
poison. A lot of people actually try to return this game.
Oh God.
Return it, huh?
And it's just like it's poison because Hideo Kojima. You know, if they would have put any other name on it,
They should have put other name on it.
I think people would have been like, "It's not that great, but it's cool. I like what they have there."
They
you
could have called it like tactical espionage, something like that. You know, still kind of have the attachment to Metal Gear, but not call
Tactical
it.
espionage.
Yeah.
Survive.
Zombie
Yeah,
espionage.
Yeah, you know, something not calling it Metal Gear, but something that will resonate with players.
Yeah, just call
that
it
were
Zombie
fans of it.
Survive with Z's. Both Z's. Zombies Survive.
Eyes. What was that? Was it Wii U that came
Now
out
it's
with
Shenmue.
Yeah.
Shut up, Rick. Shut up.
the... Out?
This is important news. So, Leo, we're closer, bro.
We're backers to the Shenmue title.
And I'm actually glad now because, see, initially I had made my pledge for a PlayStation 4 game, even though I had no PlayStation 4 at the time, but my plans was eventually I'll get one. But then I got a PC, and I didn't want to get a PlayStation 4 anymore, so I contacted the team and told them, it's like, can I change my pledge for a PC version instead? And they're like, oh yeah, once we're getting ready to launch, we're going to ask again which version you want, and then you can change your initial pledge. I'm like, yes. But now I got a PlayStation 4, so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll keep the PlayStation 4
I think this
copy.
is one of those games I'm probably gonna buy twice just so that it's successful.
Yeah.
I backed it. I am gonna get my hopefully pretty sooner than later my copy for the PlayStation 4. But
This December, right?
Once it hits that Steam market, I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for that and put it in my wish list. So we'll
I
see
think
how
December
that
is the
plays
release
also.
date. So
Yeah.
and they're on track.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's
Sopas, viejo.
still under indie game category. So you can't have too many expectations in terms of how it looks.
I'm just glad we're getting part 3.
I'm just
dude.
happy. I don't like. I'll be honest. Even if it's really glitchy at first,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna play it. I'm just happy that this is actually
It's
happening.
the continuation to the cliffhanger we got in 2002.
Look, this is.
Let's just talk about that.
Realistically,
2002.
realistically, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be a cheap game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a small game,
Mhm.
more of an indie vibe to it.
Was it
Even though you-
2002? Maybe 2001 even.
What?
When the last one came out?
Oh
part
yeah,
2?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So we're glad.
and I'm just glad it's happening.
Yeah.
This is like one of those things
it's
that
just
you
funny
never
'cause
thought it would happen.
Rick, you don't figure in this conversation right now.
because
Turn his microphone off.
before you
Turn it off.
guys,
Turn him off.
I was the one that
Turn
was
him off.
into like RPGs.
We
and
try to get
character building.
Rick to like these games for
I-
so long.
I don't know, it
And
just-
this was just right up his alley, and
So
we
much-
knew he was gonna love it.
I think
and for some
so
reason,
much stuff was just going on
for
Dreamcast
some reason, he didn't
that
not go
I
for it.
couldn't like dedicate
get
time to
into
this game. And when I would see you guys
Ah,
play,
man.
for whatever reason,
Marathons. Remember the marathons, dude?
I
would all right, 10 o'clock at night until like 4 or 5 in the morning, dude. Just
when I would
learning
see
how to
you guys
fight.
play, I would always see you guys just driving the forklift at the warehouse.
That was
my
fun
God, that
as
was so
thing,
much fun.
dude.
Like-
that was like the odd,
man.
Like-
dude. Those races, remember?
That-
everything? We gotta
forklift
win. We gotta win.
That image, I think, just burned into my mind. Like, this is
Remember-
how you do? Drive a forklift?
Remember using your money
Oh,
to stick
man.
into those little machines and
Oh,
you
get the
like,
capsule toys,
like a
dude.
little capsule toy and it
Like
was
you will go to every store in the game. That was freaking
so-
amazing.
It was so dumb.
There was
but
some magic
those
to that
were-
rig you were never gonna
Those
understand,
were
bro.
little pleasures.
Look,
Yes.
at that
It's
time,
so
I remember
crazy.
there was Code Veronica, there was Power Stone,
And we
there was
played through those, dude.
Soul Calibur, Grandia 2.
Dude,
which is
we
another awesome
finished all those
RPG.
games.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There was just so much stuff as far as other games going on at
But
that
okay,
time.
look,
that
at that time, Leo and myself were not big gamers, and we went through all those games. You were the gamer,
Yeah.
and you took too long to play through those games.
Well,
I don't know.
I consider myself more of a casual gamer.
Yeah,
most of the
that's
time.
what I'm
'cause
saying, yeah.
I never got too into like the RPGs and some of the hardcore games, but this just hooked me like nothing
dude,
ever
Shenmue.
before. And I know this is gonna be a long shot, and a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but this was GTA 3 before GTA 3.
Yeah. The interaction, the freedom, the open world. I mean, it wasn't quite open.
It wasn't open.
You
like
had
we
barriers.
consider now, but
You had freedom to go to places you weren't supposed to go right away. You know, like
I have to tell you, I have the originals.
What the heck?
What?
The comment. Pancho reminds me of Doctor Strange. Leo reminds me of Hulk, and Rick reminds me of Thanos.
sweet.
All right. I'll
all
take
right.
it.
All right,
Cool.
cool. Hulk,
Kicking butt
Hulk
across
not
the
mad.
universe.
Hulk happy.
All right.
Anyways,
Adventures.
I went back and played this game a few months ago.
Yeah.
I used an emulator. I also have it on Dreamcast,
There's an emulator for
but
it.
there's an emulator on PC.
We don't condone piracy.
And well, I own the originals.
But do it.
I have the originals, but I decided to just give it a shot on the emulator, see how it plays on PC, and I played for like 2 hours.
Yeah, dude. It just
I was like,
captures you.
first of all, I was just like, I want to see how it. I just
Mhm.
want to see how it plays. I mean,
Yeah.
like if it
How are the graphics?
if it holds up in any way. Graphically, it's I mean,
Blocky?
it's a combination of beautiful and horrible by today's standards, and gameplay is terrible. Like
Yeah.
the way you control.
Oh, the
it's
way
terri-
you make it run, you have to
yeah,
press a
it's
button.
really,
Yeah.
really weird
Yeah, I
compared to how most games they got it down right now. But at the same time, there's something about the fact that it's different that it's pretty addicting. I mean, I don't know. It's just the
So
fanboy.
fast.
I know it's just the fanboy in me. But
I'm glad they're bringing back the arcade.
I
though.
loved that. Yeah.
Now you know what sucks about this, Leo, is that you know the story is not gonna be finished.
They're gonna leave it open ended.
From what it looks like right here is that it's just this village. That's the setting. That's the whole place where the game is gonna take place. Is this village? Just like in the first one, it was just his city, his hometown, and then in the second one, it was much bigger. It had more areas. It was China, Kowloon, and I don't remember the other city. But then he actually travels to this village at the end of the last disc, which is like, all right, dude, I'm on the fourth disc, and it was just the cliffhanger, which was really lame. But I'm afraid that that's all we're seeing in Shenmue 3, dude. Just this village. And
So
who knows?
They're
if-
probably gonna do that purposely, kind of to say, let's see if this really hits big.
Yeah, to keep going with the rest. Yeah. But according to the backing pledges, the more money people give, the more stuff we're going to be getting. So, like, I think last time I checked, and it's been a while since I last checked, they were up to mini games. But there were, like, at least, like, 6 or 7 more categories to, like, have, like, fighting and other things that you can do, like, freeform.
Well, let's hope it's a hit, and they eventually release like a lot of DLC for it. You know,
Yeah, that could
that's
work.
the dream. That's
Yeah.
the dream.
You know who has 2 thumbs and isn't pledging? This guy.
Yeah.
Shut up, your microphone.
You're gonna buy the game. You're gonna eventually buy it.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm so happy. I'm just happy it's happening.
Yeah.
I never thought it would happen. But
If they do,
2001,
I think
2002.
I think you guys had said it. If they do like a trilogy pack, like a a bonus
Oh, a
part 1 and
remaster.
part 2.
They're working on that. I actually did see something on the Shenmue Dojo. That's like their official community. They were talking about Sega putting some trademarks for Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2. So I think it looks as though they're going to happen.
If that were to happen, maybe I'd give it a shot.
the remasters.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd buy the remasters even if they decided not to remaster them.
Even
Just-
if they're the same.
Just
yeah.
as like re-release on PS4 or PC or whatever.
Port them over, and that's
Or
it.
Switch. I'll buy a Switch to play
Oh,
Shenmue.
in the Switch, it'd be amazing. Because now I can take it everywhere. Too. Oh, man. I have a
Oh
problem.
man.
All
Enough
right.
Shenmue,
Yeah.
guys. Enough Shenmue. I got
Moving on.
Shenmue filth.
Oh, that's it.
That's it?
bro.
Oh,
sense.
man.
Oh, that was it.
Oh,
That's it.
Sad.
Oh, man.
Now it's time to
Oh,
say
man.
goodbye.
MICKEY MOUSC.
Copyright infringement. Shut up.
What? What? Huh? What? Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today for another edition of DGT Live. I'm Leo, along with
Rick
and
Francisco.
until next time, enjoy your games and love your families. Ciao.
It's Daddy's game time.